Now we're going to take a look at how can we take a series of pictures and how can we do that programmatically. And this may be like, for instance, if you want a time-lapse video or you want to stagger the taking of pictures over set periods, this is where this will be handy. So if you go to the series underscore pictures.py file, let's go ahead and open that up in our Python IDE, and we'll do a quick code review before we execute it, just so that you would understand what's happening. So the first few lines of code, we have seen this before, but here's where it gets interesting. We do a for I in range 5, and in Python, this is how you do a for loop, basically. So your loop starts and it increments every time at the end of the loop. So for here in Python, of course, when there's an indent, that denotes the bounds or the scope of our for loop. So for the first, when we get into a loop, we're going to sweep for 5 seconds. Then we're going to capture an image. This is the exact same line of code we have seen in the previous example of how we capture an image, specifying where we want the image to be stored. But note what we're doing here. We want the name of the image that we're storing to increment. So first, when we start off, I is going to be 0, and you're going to see images 0.jpg. Then when we come back up, I increments, and we wait for 5 seconds, and the new image is going to be images 1.jpg, and then it's going to increment 2, 3, 4, and so on. So that is what will happen, and we'll have a series of 5 images that will be created. So let's go ahead and run this, and we'll take a look at our results in the Downloads Photos folder. So I'm going to go ahead and click on the green arrow here. So we're going to take a series of photos. And as we're doing it, I'm just going to do some goofy poses. Trying to stay still here as this is going on. Okay, so we're all done. And let's go ahead and take a look at those images in our downloads folder. So downloads, photos, and here you can see our image 0, image 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's check out image 0. And I was goofing off a little bit as we were going through those photos so that you can see different snapshots in time. Here my eyes were partially closed. So that's our image 1. Then here we have our image 2. I was caught by surprise there. Then we have image 3. Okay, all thumbs up. Everything looking good so far. And then image 4. Alright, so there we go. So image 4. So this is really handy in that we can create sort of a time-lapse effect, and we can programmatically determine when we want our photos to be taken. So hopefully you get the gist of this and see how it can be applied in taking staggered photos in any sort of Raspberry Pi project.